Welcome back to Sheffield for what is the second semi-final in the Elite League. This one pits the runners-up and current playoff holders, the Queen Bees, against the third place Whitley Bay Beacons. I'm Adam Atman, and joining me for this one is Connor Medley. Connor, thank you very much for joining me. I'll come back to you in a second. We're just going to look at the lineup. So, the Queen Bees players for people to look out for: number 6, Rachel Cartwright, who is a GB international, one of the top goal scorers in the league. Number 12, Louise Adams, is, for me, the GOAT, the greatest player we currently have in this league. She is someone to look out for. We've seen Ellie Wallace and Ellie Shaw already in action for Swindon. Abby Sylvester, who captains this side, one of the top defenders in the country. And again, we've seen Lily Endicott and Amelia Williams also play, along with Miley Drazy, all for Swindon. In goal is Mackenzie McNamara, who spent last season with the Cardiff Comets. And for the Whitley Bay Beacons, well, this is a team we're both familiar with, starting with Sam Bolwell in goal. Becky Casterwood, veteran forward, who's an evergreen player, continues to be a great inspiration for everybody. Number 4, Casey Trail, leads, I think, all defenders in the league in scoring this season. Number 9, Evie May Tyndall, one of the top youngsters in the league, along with 11, Heidi Dunn. Emma Lamberton is now a full GB international. Claire Turnbull we see in action earlier on for Caledonia, along with number 20, Caitlin Morrison. 27, Ruby Newlands, who played for Kingston earlier on and is one of the hottest properties in the league right now. Number 33, Steph Towns, all-time top scorer with 601 points, and 34, Abby Coulshaw, who is the Beacons' top scorer. So we are ready to go here, and we are underway, and it's a Steph Towns line out there to start for the Beacons. Casey Trail will gather. She's alongside Caitlin Morrison on the top defensive pairing. And I'll bring Connor in a second once we get a stoppage in play. But for now, it's with the Beacons. Evie Tyndale is out there with Steph Towns and Abby Coulshaw on the top forward lines. For the Queen Bees, well, as we said before, Abby Sylvester leads the team, and she defensively, so she is on the top D pairing. Puck out there towards Abby Coulshaw, who carries in, gets a shot off, but was well blocked in the end by Queen Bees player. I think it was Leah Flower. I couldn't quite see the numbers because of the way the jersey's folded on her as she's wearing it, as Sylvester controls behind the back of the net, looking for Rachel Cartwright, who has had a happy knack of scoring goals against the Beacons in recent years. They are without their other top scorer, which is Catherine Gale. So Catherine, if you're watching back home, hope you're doing okay post-operation. We miss you and can't wait to see you back on the ice next season. Nice poke check there from Claire Turnbull, who looks like she's centering this second line. Or she might be playing on the wing, because Becky Casterwood's the normal centre. Queen Bees will control in a neutral zone. Ellie Wallace is open on this near side. It's carried in nicely, though, by Louise Adams. And Lily Endicott completing this second line for the Queen Bees. So I have shaken the lines up somewhat. Comes back to Ellie Shaw, with Amelia Williams alongside her as a defensive partner. Ruby Newlands closing in, working hard on the forecheck. Long passage in play, so I'll bring in my co-commentator Connor. You've watched most of the Beacons games this season alongside me, and excited about this one?
I am indeed, yeah. I've watched alongside you when we've been up in the commentary box, and I've also been watching it on live stream when I've not been able to make the away games or the home games. But yeah, certainly I've watched the progress throughout the year, and it's been lovely to see how they've come together in the games where they've needed to, and they've dug deep. They've come close to some good games as well. There's been some well-fought battles throughout the year, so they've earned the place to be here. They deserve to be here as much as any other team, because they've earned it. And I do think it is a good matchup, but I still certainly stand by saying that throughout the season, I think the Queen Bees, after watching their progress, are probably one of the best teams at playing as a team.
Yeah.
They may not have a lot of good individual talent as much as, say, Solihull, but the way they play as a team and the way they gel together is fantastic, and it is lovely to see.
It certainly is. There's a nice poke check there from Miley Drazy. one of the younger defenders on the team. Possibly is the youngest defender on the team, in fact. Heidi Dunn, equally so for the Beacons. She drops back to control. As Beacons will lead a charge here with Steph Towns. Gets a shot off, and that took a deflection off Hannah Byram. And Mackenzie McNamara makes a save. That's a good drive there from Steph Towns.
Yeah. I do think as well it's going to be a bit challenging for both teams here because they're not really used to big ice at the home teams, and especially Sheffield as well. I've played on this rink many a times in my career, and I just find the ice slow. It is very slow ice, and it does take a little while to adapt to the speed of the ice. May sound crazy thinking about that.
No.
All ice is ice, but some's fast, some slow, some sticky, some not.
Well, indeed, yeah. I know I have heard mixed reports on the condition of the ice at Sheffield. I know it gets a lot of usage, so it tends to be a lot of divots and cracks in the ice, and that doesn't always help, does
cracks,
it?
And it's the speed of the ice as well. It's they don't flood it that much, so it tends to be quite slow and traily ice.
Yeah.
So, some teams may take a while to sort that.
Oh, that's the first goal, and Louise Adams, I think it was, who put home. Great individual goal, and she was the person really that the Beacons had to be careful of. Their former player, of course, from last season. And, well, it's 1-0 Queen Bees. We'll get the replay coming up for you now. Talk us through it, Connor. Nice entry into his own.
Solo individual effort, pulling it wide. And then the defender gets pulled out there. She's in on her own, comes round, and then just a long stretch through, and it just hits the other side of the opposite post. The other forward that came in with her did a really good job of pulling the other D-man across and getting them out of the way to make a lane for her to skate in. So a nice play there from the Queen Bees. Good goal. It
was indeed, and well, it's a very early goal. That's a shame because the Beacons had started the game quite brightly, hadn't they?
They have, yeah. They've done plenty of good forward checks, and they've been holding the neutral zone really well, and they've been making sure that they've been uptight and getting some outlet passes from the D zone. But that was just obviously just a quick play, quick jump on the play, and it created a goal, and that's what you've got to watch out for these. You give them a turnover, you give them a sniff of a chance, and they'll punish you for it.
Well, indeed, yeah. And well, Louise, who's a fantastically gifted player and won the playoffs 3 years ago with Guildford. That's carried in nicely there.
Very nice.
By the Queen Bees and controlled over on the far side. Leah Fla, it is, the number 59, who's centre in this top line, Norwegian-born player who's currently over studying in this country. I believe her older sister once played for the Queen Bees a few years back. So Ellie Wallace with a nice layoff. She's already played a game today for Swindon Top Cats. Adams cutting across the high slot to Lily Endicott, and then Wallace.
The bar.
Fantastic shot there as it cannons back off the crossbar, and
lovely drop pass play there.
And again, there's a line combining to devastating effect, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Nice little play coming in the zone there. I don't know if we'll get a replay on that.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, Louise doing exactly the same what she did on the goal, but she cuts in first, waits, and then a nice little drop pass there, and then another drop pass there, and just off the bar in the post.
Yeah. They've scored straight from the face-off. And the Queen Bees looking like their mean business. Lily Endicott with the goal, I think it was.
Yeah.
And, well, she scored for Swindon earlier on, and she's continuing that bright start once again. And the Beacons, well, quickly 2 goals down early on. Not the start they wanted by any means.
No one there. Skated straight through. Picked a spot above the pad and put it in.
Yeah, punishing the Beacons there.
Yeah, but Sam had no chance with that one. There was no one there to stop her.
Yeah, we get confirmation then. Goal number 2. And it is Lily Endicott's goal. Casey Trail slipped forward nicely to Ruby Newlands. Well covered off though by Abby Sylvester. Caitlin Stocks. Great to see Caitlin playing here in the playoffs. A local girl, of course, from Sheffield. Grew up just a mile or 2 from the rink. And plays for the Shadows in Division 1 as well. A good save by Mackenzie McNamara, who, during her time with the Cardiff Comets, was known as Wonder Wall. And you'll probably know why, because, well, she forms a wall in the net. And, well, in fact, this is a fantastic goalie. And getting our opportunity in the Elite League this season.
Well, it's like I said before to you, before we even commenced the game, the teamwork and the camaraderie between the Queen Bees team just showed there in those two plays.
Absolutely.
Straight away, they know where each other are. They don't even have to look, and they know where every player is and what they're doing, and that's why I think, personally, they are one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah, well, they are. They were league and playoff double winners last year, and as you say, you can see why. It's a much changed side from last year. Players have left, moved away to America for playing college. I'm thinking of Nora Egri and Sophie Games, to name but two. Some players missing through injury. Abby Fay is a big miss on D. She only just come back towards the, I think the last month of the season wasn't enough to get the 5 games in to qualify to play in the playoffs, but back playing with the Queen Bees and the Fire Bees. And obviously with Catherine Gale missing, that's a huge loss. And of course, Chrissy Newman, who we're thinking of as we hope her recovery continues. We'd love to see you back on the ice at some point, Chrissy. But for all of you listening in who can't be here, we've got some very happy memories of those players in playoffs in recent past. Ellie Shaw picks out Ellie Wallace. Such a strong Swindon connection to his Queen Bee side. Lovely hands from Louise Adams to set up the play on the far side. Vicky Smith dropping back to help out. Going with the Queen Bees forward, who I think it was Leah Flower. Couldn't quite see the numbers on the shirt. Once again, Millie Georgie doing a good job now. This is the third line out here. As the action continues behind the back of the net. Beacon's third line out there. Sorry, second line out there even.
Yeah, you've got to blow that now.
It's been up along there for a while.
Yeah, you've got to blow that now. Just keeps the game moving.
Very generous whistle. Obviously, the officials thought we could see it was
as long as they can see the puck moving, they won't blow the whistle, because there's a chance that it can just pop out. But, there's a line and you've just got to think, we'll call it and we'll get a face off there. Yeah. But, the official made the right call there.
Yeah, absolutely. As we have seen some generous whistles today.
There's a lot of games they need to keep the puck moving, really, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. Nicely gathered in, though, by Caitlin Morrison, Rachel Cartwright.
There we go.
Yeah.
A quick shrug off, but the well-deserved penalty there.
Yeah, they'll call that as body checking.
Yeah. It's the first
Rachel does like playing slightly more physical hockey, but I can see why it was given.
Yeah. But it's playoff hockey. Everyone's going to be, up there
fired
up, ready to go, aren't they? So they're going to be a bit feisty.
One of my favourite players to watch, Rachel Cartwright, such a great goal scorer. And continues to be amongst the leading scorers.
There's a good chance for the Beacons now to try and get control and get one back on the board now for power play.
It's the first power play opportunity of the game for either side, and as you say, Connor, the Beacons, you feel, have to strike back pretty soon, otherwise Queen Bees are a sort of side who can quite easily run up a scoreline. A bit like what we saw with Solihull in the last game. They once things went their way, they quickly applied the pressure and really ran up the score as Evie Tyndale finds Casey Trail. Good pressure coming in from Louise Adams on the forecheck.
Yeah, very good forecheck there. Yeah, you need to get that momentum that Queen Bees have got. You need to get it broken.
Yeah, you do. Evie Tyndale working it back. Lovely pass from Steph Towns to go rink wide. Now Casey Trail fires just wide of the goal.
Wide.
Abby Coulshaw will leave it for Steph Towns. Back to Abby. Nice work there by Ellie Wallace, trying to get the poke check in. Back with Casey. Very good interchange of passing here from the Beacons. This is better from them. And then Louise Adams able to clear the puck out the zone. Dump back in. Beacons will use the opportunity to change their power play unit, led by Becky Castor-Wood, but a nice breakout. We'll see the puck on this left wing side for Louise Adams, who gets in behind Ruby Newlands. Lovely hands on Louise Adams as she shrugs off Emma Lamberton, and Jade Cito still with Adams as she works it back to Amelia Williams. Amelia banks it off the boards. It will go into the corner, and it's still with the Queen Bees. Claire Turnbull eventually stripping the puck back for the Beacons, and she will look to lead the charge forward. Beacons with 14 seconds left on the power play. Not a great deal to work with, but good entry in by Becky Castor-Wood, but an equally good poke check from the Queen Bees. Puck into the corner, controlled by Ruby Newlands. Estelle Ip working the puck back. Beacons unable to convert on that power play then as the Queen Bees return to full strength. Claire Turnbull gathers on the far side, works it back to Jade Cito.
I think the Queen Bees did a good job on the kill there, definitely, and they were just giving him no option to be able to get the puck in the zone, even just to get it deep in the neutral zone. They were just giving him no time whatsoever.
Yeah, it was kind of a power play of two halves, wasn't it? The first minute, the Beacons looked really good, controlling the puck without really being able to get a shot off, but they were controlling the puck well and trying to make the plays. Second half, as you say, it was very much the Queen Bees just restricted that re-entry into the zone, and they did it very well.
Yeah, definitely. It's you see it all too often on power plays. You know, every team does it. You know, even if you go up to the big boys in the NHL, they spend more time passing, trying to set up the perfect shot than getting shots off. And
that is very true.
They're the best in the world at it, and they still do it.
This is very true.
You've seen it in the playoffs at the moment when they get a power play. They're trying to get the perfect shot.
Yeah,
and sometimes the goals come from the worst shot.
Well, that's right. A redirect.
A redirect. Yeah,
the
scruffy stuff, the dirty, horrible goals that people don't like scoring, or the keepers don't like being scored on them. Yeah,
well, Danielle Turnbull's very good at parking herself in front of a goalie like that, in taking the knocks and the slashes in front of a crease. So I was a little bit surprised they didn't use her more. Perhaps I might have done if that unit was able to have got into the zone. We won't know, but I think she's always very effective in that situation as well. A little bit like, if you want an NHL comparison, is the Thomas Holmstrom role from the Detroit Red Wings of the 90s.
Yeah, he was fantastic at that, just getting into the dirty stuff and getting in the dirty areas, weren't scared of anything. Good save there.
Yeah, great stop by Sam Bolwell from Louise Adams. Louise drilling it low and Sam shutting the pads on her there, but I mean, that's a great reaction save, isn't it?
Yeah, great reaction save. Threw a bit of the screen as well, so she couldn't really see the puck till it came free, so not a lot of time to react there, and she did well getting that one stopped.
Yeah. As we're going to face off in the Beacon zone then, Becky Castor-Wood will take the draw against Millie Georgie. So the third line for the Queen Bees. As the Beacon's looking to stride forward here with Caitlin Stocks. Into the corner. Yuxing Lau is the number 7. She's open. She's the highest one forward here, if they can feed it through to her. And Isabel Bennett completes the line, who's is a locally born player from Bracknell, where the Queen Bees originate from. Trail with a nice drag through to get it past Drazy, but Drazy recovered well and ended up forcing Casey to run out of real estate in the end.
Yeah, nice move there, just shut the door on her.
Yeah, she did. As that one's dumped in by Miley Drazy. That's a really good shift from the youngster, the Welsh defender, who plays for GB under-18s now as well. That one comes through. She's one of the ones on a two-way with Swindon, and we saw her in action earlier on. Really fast-paced opening period here inside the final 7 minutes of the session. Hannah Byram doing well to work her way out the corner, and that will set Rachel Cartwright away. Good hands from her, going forehand to backhand and tying Amanda McWilliams one way then the next before dumping in.
And it's not.
No, it's been waved off.
That didn't take a touch in my eyes.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, that one, I think, to call. That's Heidi Dunn working the puck out the corner. Good work from Amanda McWilliams, trying to get it loose and free. And here comes Jade Cito, carries out. Cannons back off the feet of Rachel Cartwright. Now Ruby Newlands cutting in one way and the next, and lovely little slalom run from the Ruby Rocket, who gets a shot off. It's blocked well by Hannah Byram. Big rebound through from Emma Lamberton. Now Ruby works it back to the point. Casey Trail fires from distance. Well saved by Megan. By Mackenzie McNamara, sorry. And we'll see the replay there, but that was probably the best play from the Beacon so far.
Yeah, and it's just speed. That's all it is, just a bit of speed, getting yourself in the zone, getting the shots off. That's what they need to be doing. You know, even if it's a bad shot, get it off.
Yeah.
You know, it's law of averages. They're going to go in.
Well,
like one great hockey player used to say, you know what he said? You miss 100% of shots that you don't take.
Indeed, yeah. Certain Wayne Gretzky did say that. As Louise Adams looks to counter the other way. Evie Tyndale doing a good job of sticking with her, and then Casey Trail doubling up to make sure she'll sweep up that loose puck. That's a lovely pass over to Abby Coulshaw. Gracie goes with her. Pull short, quick look over his shoulder, needs a bit of support. Steph Town's getting up there with her. Gracie's lost her stick, but doesn't matter because the Queen Bees are working the puck back out the zone. Back to the blue line. Caitlin Morrison's open. It's with Heidi Dunn. Heidi will control forward to Abby Coulshaw, who comes back. And Steph Town's trying to get a piece of it, but it's Louise Adams who feeds Ellie Wallace, who splits the D, gets a shot off, but lofts the shot wide. Just got under it, didn't she?
Yeah, just got under it there. I think she was just a bit panicky, wanted to get the shot off, and unfortunately the stick were at the wrong angle and the blade were, and it just got away from her.
Scored two really good goals for the Swindon Top Cats earlier on in their semi-final win against the Kingston Diamonds. For those of you who were watching it earlier, this is game 4 of 6 today, the second elite semi-final. We've got the 2 Division 2 ones coming up for you following the resumption of this one. Plenty of hockey still left in today's play, and then another 5 games for you tomorrow, and then the final 2 on Monday. So if you've bought the pass for the weekend for the stream, then you are in luck, because we have some top quality hockey action for you across this bank holiday weekend. As that one is dumped back in. Comes back through for Heidi Dunn to gather behind the back of the net.
Queen Bees just seem to be doing a very good forecheck, and they're really organised on the forecheck. They've got one man pressure in the puck, and then they've got another 2 on the outlets of the potential passes that can come from there. And they're doing such a good job at pinning Whitley Bay into the zone.
Yeah, they are indeed. Ellie Wallace controlling well once more. Louise Adams, who again seemed to just find an extra gear to get in behind the Beacons defence there. And the Beacons weren't exactly slow to get to that puck.
Wow.
Louise just has that extra gear.
When you're a player like that, you do have a gear that you don't tend to use, and you need to use when you need to use it. And
yeah,
you do. When you use it, and when you're a player of her calibre, you can make some players look silly if you do turn that gear on. Yeah,
I mean, I don't think Louise is slow by any means, but when you think of Louise Adams, the first thing isn't necessarily speed. It's normally her hands and her brain, isn't it?
But it's the brain and it's the IQ and it's her hands. Yeah.
But they're not moments like that. You remember, wow, she does have that pace to go with it. And the shot from Casey Trail took a flick off the blocker there of Mackenzie McNamara. So Beacon's still asking questions, and if anyone is likely to get the breakthrough, it's possibly going to be Casey, because she's had a great goal scoring season, hasn't she?
She has indeed, yeah. You'd think of more of her a midfield player at the moment, wouldn't you, than a defencer?
You would.
She's been extremely good up front and very productive, but also been really good 2 ways and getting back when she needed to. Yeah, she's been. If there was a midfield in hockey, she'd be really good at it.
Midfield or a wing back, sort of. But but so it's kind of the link between defence and forward is what we're trying to say, isn't it?
Yeah. Because normally, in D, you really want to partner up your Ds, because you need a D that can go for a little giddy up. You know, a D that can have a carry when the forwards aren't ready there for you. And you need to have that stay-at-home D as well, and you need to be able to talk between the 2 Ds and be like, right, you're a stay-at-home D, you're the one that's going to have a bit of a carry. And Casey's both sometimes. You know, she can stay at home. Oh, nice move by Ruby Newlands there.
Yeah. Finds Evie Tyndale, who went for a return pass, and then Ruby just. I think the puck got caught under her skates.
Yeah, it got caught under her feet.
But Evie, who got named player of the game for the Diamonds in their semi-final against Swindon, we're going to get a penalty here
against the Beacons. That looks bad, but I think it's going to be a tripping call.
Yeah, I think it was interference, wasn't it? On Heidi Dunn.
See what the referee? Oh yeah, the interference call. Yeah, I just seen her on the floor and I just assumed a trip.
Yeah, we've got the replay coming up here. The give and go between
nice
Ruby and Evie.
Lovely little sauce pass into the middle, and she just couldn't get it and turn it round onto a forehand to pop it in.
Actually, I think we've done Mackenzie McNamara a disservice there when we said we thought Ruby had
done the carry in.
I think Mackenzie gets a poke check in there.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
Work back to Abby Sylvester, who winds one up, took a deflection.
Coulshaw just took that off the palm of her hand. That's going to stink tomorrow.
It is, but you know what? It got it away from goal.
It did indeed. Yeah, it did its job.
Yeah,
I've been there, done that. Put your hand there, and the moment it hits you, like, I regret doing that.
Yeah. Rachel Cartwright then. This is the first power play opportunity of the game for the Queen Bees. Lovely pass out wide to
good block
Louise.
Shot from Coulshaw there again.
What a shift this is from
for such a small player. She's creating a big wall.
Yeah, and to think some GB coaches said that she lacked that intensity and work rate. It's,
oh
makes
no,
a mockery of it.
She shies away from no puck or no challenge, does Coleshaw. I mean, I've played with her alongside her in men's hockey, and you know, there's guys, huge guys. She never backs down.
No.
She's like a little Jack Russell.
She'd be one of the first players on my team sheet, and pound for pound, probably the toughest player there is.
Oh yeah, she's tough.
Lily Endicott carries in. She's another wonderfully gifted player. Works some space for herself.
Oh,
lovely cut back, comes across now. Leah Flower with a centering pass.
Yeah, Beacons are doing some good shot blocks here and trying to close these passes through the middle, because that's where the Queen Bees are going to be dangerous, when you get that pass right in the middle and there's just going to be a white shirt there waiting on its own, ready to tap that puck in.
Yeah, into the corner. Good work from Hannah Byram. Always love to watch Hannah in action. She's another good defender. Good save by Sam Bolwell, and Caitlin Stocks is there to sweep up and help her and get it away. Ellie Shaw doing a good job of shutting the door on the breakout for the Beacons. And then Lily Endicott works, again, talking of work rate. How many, if you had like a pedometer on her to see how many yards she must skate in a game. She's everywhere, isn't she? Really just a great player to watch. That will do it then for the first period. Queen Bees took their chances, but Beacon's probably a little bit unlucky that they're behind at this stage, you'd say?
Yeah, I think they're a bit unlucky. They're just, they're not, I don't think they're potentially working the zone as well as they potentially could. I think they're just more concentrating on, like I say, trying to make the perfect play over trying to get just some shots on net. You know, the keeper's cold. She's not really had that many to stop. Especially high quality chances as well, so I think they need to have a little talk now and maybe try get some more shots on the net, you know, for some rebounds or even just some dirty flicks onto the net, you know, just to get some pressure on the keeper and get her working. But again, Sam's faced some shots, Sam's done some good saves. You know, there were one, they've got Louise Adams' goal. There's nothing you can really do about that when a player like that gets the puck in front of the net. And the second goal, it was just a lapse of communication, I think, between the defence and the Beacons. But I do think the Queen Bees predominantly showed why they're up there, you know, in that period. Yeah. They're working well as a team. They're moving the puck. The forecheck on the penalty kill was absolutely fantastic. And they're making some lovely plays. And it is a good game to watch, but I just do think that the Beacons really need to find another gear now, because the Queen Bees have just come out firing. They've gone 100% shift in that first period, and I don't know if the Beacons are hoping that maybe in the third they might get a bit tired. I don't know, but they just seem to be giving them a bit too much time to do what they want to do. You know, there's not an aggressive forecheck. There's not a lot of black shirts around the white shirts, and they're giving them a bit too much respect, I think, and a bit too much time to do what they want, because when you do give a team like that, it shows what they can do.
Indeed, yeah. Well, we are going to take a short break. We'll be back with you in 3 minutes' time, so please don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Sheffield then for the start of the second period between the Queen Bees and the Whitley Bay Beacons. This is the second period of the second Elite semi-final, and currently it's a 2-goal lead for the Queen Bees. I'm Adam Mackman, and joining me for this one is Connor Medley. Connor, you'd have to say that, you know, the Beacons have put the effort in, but the clinical finishing from the Queen Bees has been the difference so far.
I'd certainly say so, yeah. Yeah, the clinical thinking and the like you say, the clinical thinking, and I think Whitley just needs to capitalise a bit more on the chances that they're trying to create a little bit more, and be a bit more organised in what they're doing. The Queen Bees just seem to know where everybody is, what everyone's doing, and where they're going to send the puck next.
Yeah,
and we've got to think now as well. This is the second period. It's the long change. No one likes the second period in hockey, and it can either work in your favour or it can work against you. But yeah, let's just hope the Beacons get their engaged second gear and hopefully try and get on the board. But again, Queen Bees are defending extremely well, and they're closing them down, so it should be a good period. Yeah,
indeed, yeah. Ellie Shaw working it across to Amelia Williams a pairing that know each other well from the number of games they've played with the Swindon Top Cats as well. So good understanding between them, two youngsters who really came through that Swindon Top Kittens junior team that got to the playoff final 2 years ago. And it's into the corner, worked well though by Becky Castor-Wood. It's right far side, that will be Amelia Williams who gathers that, steals it just as Danielle Turnbull was about to enter the zone. Comes back to Lily Endicott, she gets a touch on it, but it flicks it only as far as Casey Trail, who drives forward, and again she's looked a very positive outlet going forward, Casey, hasn't she, for the Beacons?
Yeah, some people would say that she is a forward.
Well, yeah, indeed she has played officially as a forward in games for the Beacons in the past, but she is lined up as a D on this one. As it comes back through, lovely set-up play from Leah Flar, and the effort
good save
there from Abby Sylvester, who's up from the back.
Nice play, that back door, no one there.
Yeah,
all the time in the world, and sometimes more time is worse.
Indeed it is. Yeah, good block shot there, and then Sam
good save,
quick to cover that one up. Yeah,
she don't want anybody in there.
No, she was onto that one like a hyena on a dead camel, wasn't she, to cover that one up.
Yeah, that's a lovely little play there. A bit of a broken play there, to be honest with you, but they jump on it quite quickly. And then it's just a bit quick thinking there, straight to the back door, no one there, and yeah, good save there to get that across.
Yeah. Controlled over on that far side. Ruby Newlands looking for the drag back, but well defended by the Queen Bees once more. It was Estelle Ip who was getting back there. Again, another one who worked so hard.
Oh, nice that.
Nice.
Just onside. Oh, here we go. We've got a bit of a movement.
Deflected away. Good work though by Caitlin Morrison, known as Mooney. That one cleared and into the corner. Worked along the boards. Rachel Cartwright now moving the puck forward. Just about moving. It will come out full for Millie Giorgi.
Can always rely on someone in the crowd to bring a bell.
Yeah.
It's a bell or a drum?
Yeah, well,
I don't know why those are the two preferred choices.
I tell you who it is. I can see her. She's dressed in green directly opposite. It's Kerry Dunn, Evie Tyndale's mum. And, well, she had a cowbell when we went down to Guildford.
Is that an offside or a too many man call?
I think it's Georgia Ashand as well, who's Heidi Dunn's mum. I think she's got a bell. I think the pair of them have got bells, and I think they got them from the Pee Wee tournament out in Quebec. Yeah, that's where they got them from. So we're giving them a good airing down.
Yeah.
In,
shit, the dust off
them. Yeah.
That's what we're on about there. You see where the offside call there. That's where the long change catches you out sometimes there. And,
yeah.
You know, it can, like I say, it can either work into your favour or it can't. Because if you're on an advanced play, you're tired, you've got dead legs.
Yeah.
You jump off on the boards on the defensive gate, and then a forward can jump onto the other gate, and then you've got fresh legs straight in there for a net drive.
Yeah.
So it can work in your favour sometimes, or it can work against you. You can get a too many man call or an offside.
Yeah, we did see one too many players call in one of the earlier games.
Yeah,
that was just as a player was coming out the box, having killed off a penalty, and I think they were bringing somebody off the off the benches, and I think that's just how it got mixed up. But like you say, there's an art form to it, isn't there? In terms of
there certainly is. Yeah, and you've just got to have your heads up about you. And then we go 2-on-1 here.
Yeah, lovely entry into the zone. Georgie, it is with the good effort, blocks, and Caitlin Stocks even will deal with it and work back to the point. Five back in, takes a deflection off Steph Towns' skate, and then Evie Tyndale flicking that one forward, keeping the momentum going, although it is still in the Beacon zone. As Yuk-Ting Lau closes in, cleared by Caitlin Stocks into the corner. Lau will get there first. Then Tyndale gets a piece of it, and I think both her and Coulshaw were looking to get the breakout. Now Coulshaw looks like she will, but Miley Drazy will come across and gather. Lovely pass forward to Louise Adams, who's got a lot of ice to attack into. Enters the zone.
Nice little spin around play there.
Yeah, tried to return the favour to Drazy, but I think in the end the Beacons had bodies back, and It just was on her offside, but controlled there with Stocks. Back to Ellie Wallace, now Endicott cycling it down low here, the Queen Bees, holding on to good puck possession. And then comes back out the zone.
Well kept in there by Louise.
Yeah. Back to the blue line, Abby Sylvester forward, and be chased down by Ellie Wallace. Well controlled. Behind the back of the net, Claire Turnbull. To Hannah Byram now, she's battling hard along the boards. To Wallace. Lovely reverse pass, accents it back into the corner, but Caitlin Stocks will get there first. Having to deal with two Queen Bees players there on the forecheck.
Yeah, it's an aggressive forecheck that they're doing, isn't it?
It is. Hannah Byram was one of them who was up from the blue line.
Yeah, they're certainly giving them no time to think in their own zone.
No, attempted one-timer from Marcel, but she'll charge down and gather in her own rebound, gets it back to Hannah Byram, who dumps that one in once more. Ip will get there just ahead of Stocks. And then the puck battle continues behind the back of the net. Leah Flahr doing a great job there of battling away with Jade Cito.
Yeah, want to be careful there. They're nearly going to be getting a holding call there. They, stick around the body there. You've got to be careful.
Indeed, yeah. Attempted breakout by the Beacons was stopped. Now
nice move
Queen Bees will counter. Danielle Turnbull will clear, comes out the zone with it. No, kept inside by Abby Sylvester. And Casey Trell's gone down.
Yeah,
there was a bit of a tussle off the hook between Abby and Casey.
Yeah, I think there were a bit of pushing and shoving there. I don't know if Sylvester just pulled a stick or not. We've been called for interference there, but I don't think Sylvester were anywhere near Casey then when that happened. I think it were a bit of a push and a shove. You know.
Yeah, it was something nothing. I mean, those two are obviously good friends because they play for GB together.
Yeah, I think Casey were just signalling there that a stick. She just did something there. I think a stick. Sylvester's stick got stuck in between the skates, so as she tried to move into the zone again, it tripped her up, but the referee's called interference. But never mind, they're on a PP again.
I do think that's a harsh call on the Queen Bees, but the Beacons won't mind that.
Good scoring opportunity here.
Just fires over. But it's good work though. She'd opened up that scoring opportunity for herself in the high slot.
That's the best place you want to be with a puck on your own. You know, in the middle.
Yeah, I mean the Queen Bees penalty kill parted like the Red Sea, didn't it?
It did, yeah. They just all separated. Yeah. You might as well call Steph Moses then.
Yeah. Oh. She's been called a lot of things. I don't think she's ever been called Moses. No.
Now we've got a breakaway.
It's a 2-on-0 with Louise Adams. It's a good opportunity. She scores. And 3-0 Queen Bees. A short-handed breakaway goal for Louise Adams. She was never going to miss that opportunity. Picked her spot, went top shelf where Mama keeps her best peanut butter, and Queen Bees well in control of this game right now. We get a replay here.
Yeah,
see how it breaks out.
Just a bit of a break off there in the zone, and then Louise has got all the time to think about.
Rachel Cartwright there as support.
Just in case, slowing Steph down.
Top shelf blocker side. Sam had no chance of stopping that.
No. Louise didn't even have time to think about what she was having for tea tonight. She had that much time.
She did, yeah. Got to go short side. I mean, that's a killer blow, really, isn't it? Because you get a power play like that for the Beacons, and
it's a
you get caught on the break.
Yeah, it's a momentum boost for you when you get a power play. You're thinking, right, what can we do? Can we get back in this game? What have we got to do to get a goal? And then when you get a shot against you, it really hurts. But the best thing you can do is forget about it and get cracked back on.
Oh, nice shot there from Townsend, just wide of the goal. But a great, I think Louise has been playing some of her best hockey. Casey Trell with the wraparound, but that's...
a good individual effort, that.
Yeah, we'll get a replay of it again. Good play, that, as it's worked back to the point. But good sustained pressure is from the Beacons.
Yeah.
Who still have almost a minute left on the power play, 57 seconds. That's an effort from Townsend.
Just wide of the right post there, that, and then Casey drops down, recognises, carries it around, and gets a good shot off.
27 minutes and 33 seconds.
Yeah, and we continue then. Steph Towns to find Abby Coulshaw via the boards. We've gone with a different formation on the penalty kill here, the Queen Bees. Casey Trell forced out the zone. Good defensive play there by Ellie Wallace. And Steph Towns, that's going to enter the zone, but they're in the middle
now
of
it's a 2-on-1, an odd man rush. Bad change from the Beacons there. Good save.
Comes back. And
then good save again.
That one's gone in, and it's
gone in.
a hat-trick marker then for Louise Adams. And I mean,
bad change from the Beacons there. That's what caused that. They had enough for the power play, and then you can see they've gone for a change. Odd man rush. 2 players that you don't really want an odd man rush against, and then Louise takes a shot, rebound off. Sam does a good job of getting it out there, and then unfortunately it just goes in under her arm.
She gets the poke check in, but Beacons have called a timeout, by the way. But I mean, the poke check fell perfectly to Louise.
Yeah,
she was able to close it down, and she worked so hard to really get on that, to collect her own rebound essentially, and put it home. And it was an easy tap-in the end. And I think Louise Adams won't have an easier hat-trick probably in her career than the one she's had today. She's taken her chances really well.
She has. She's been absolutely dominant.
Yeah,
dominant. All that goal was a rebounded shot, but if you take that away, the other 2 goals, both been clinical, both been fantastic finishers, and that's why you don't give a player like that any time. It shows. We said it before we even started the game, and he's just showing again. That's why you don't give a player like that any time whatsoever.
Unbelievably, there's still 21 seconds left on that Beacons power play.
It's the longest power play ever.
I mean, we joked, didn't we? We said that it was perhaps a harsh penalty call on the Queen Bees. Well, they scored twice off it, so it's turned into being a really good play in the end.
Yeah, to be honest with you, why don't we just get him to play with 4?
Yeah. But a timeout called by the Beacons. I think they needed to do that.
Yeah, to bring momentum, definitely.
Becky Castlewood will gather up from behind her. And back to full strength then. But I mean, that as penalty kills go, scoring twice off the same penalty. It's been a long time since I've seen somebody do that.
It really is. Fantastic that. Fantastic kill, and there, good drive in, good drive.
And then Lily Endicott's a lovely pass again by Louise Adams to pick out Lily Endicott in the low slot. But Beacons are giving scoring opportunities away quite cheaply at the minute, and
they are,
they're finding themselves alone in the low slot. The Queen Bees, as Becky will counter. That's a good palm stinger that will be held on to well by Mackenzie McNamara. But Becky doing a good job there because she's created an offensive face-off there.
She made her own lane, she skated in it, and then she got the shot off, and that's what I said before the period break. They just need to get the shots off. They need to make sure that they're making it so that they're testing the keeper.
Yeah.
And giving us some rubber to deal with, because at the moment they're giving the Queen Bees and the keeper far too much respect. Good shot there from Pulsar.
Yeah, they are. Tyndale too.
Good goal! Good goal.
Stu shoots and scores, and the Beacons get themselves on the scoreboard then. And I think for any neutrals out there, it's probably the best thing we could have hoped for in the game, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Bit of a broken play off the face-off, shot and a rebound out. And then heads up look, there we go.
Lovely pass by
Lovely pass, good vision there,
to pick out Townsy, who
we're just there on our own, marking up, ready to go.
And
good goal.
She can add a playoff goal in the Elite League now to her resume. Steph Towns, ever growing. That's point number 602 in a Whitley Bay jersey for her. That's another shot off.
It gives them a bit of a momentum now.
It does. It gives them a foothold back into it.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think if they can get another goal before the period's over, then suddenly they're going back into it to the final period. But what they can't do is give up any more goals, of course, and that is always going to be a tough ask against a strong Queen Bee side.
It is indeed, yeah.
Puck battle continues over on that far side then. Yukting Lau it is, who's battling well with Casey Trail. Bit of pushing and shoving going on, but nothing wrong with that. And Evie Tyndale again. The catalyst for the Beacons.
Nice move,
so she has. Gets the shot off, and in the end it was a good save by Mackenzie McNamara. But
she just ran out of real estate there, didn't she?
I'll tell you what, I've not seen many players run at Abby Sylvester like that and cause her as many problems. Shot comes in, good save by Sam, who will hold on. Sam Bolwell, that was a good breakout by the Queen Bees. We've got a replay of it again coming up here. This is the Beacons breakaway here.
Yeah.
With Evie
steady
Tyndale.
Carry down. One hand on the stick, that's where she got her there. Then good hand-eye coordination to tap through. She just runs out of real estate to be able to get the shot off on a good angle. But
she does.
You know, that's one thing they always try to teach you against doing is keeping one hand on your stick, because you're not as quick, you're not as mobile, and she took advantage of that there.
She did. Shot from Claire Turnbull, forcing Mackenzie McNamara into another save, and well, that means we'll get another offensive zone face-off for the Beacons.
Yeah.
So we shall see what they make of this, but this is a much positive response by the Beacons, having called that timeout.
Yeah, since the timeout, they've come out firing. They've it's almost as if that gear that I spoke about has been engaged now.
Yeah, definitely. This is arguably the best passage of play they've had all game, isn't it? So, as I say, you'd have to give them credit for that.
Certainly give them credit for that, and they're giving Queen Bees a
stab wide there. Estelle Hipp with a golden opportunity to restore that 4-goal advantage.
Yeah, the thing is, though, the Queen Bees are still knocking on the door, aren't they?
They are, yeah, of course they are, and there will be scoring opportunities, and I think the Beacons, it's run and gun hockey right now, isn't it? They're going to give up more chances at the back, but they kind of have to it's risk versus reward, isn't it? As they go forward, they need to get themselves back into the game, but by doing so, you're going to leave yourself exposed at the back. But
you've kind of got to do it.
Yeah,
you've just got to, as they would say, lick the stamp and send it. You've got to do it.
Sure.
You know, when you're down in a game with your 3 goals, you just got to give every bit of you've got forward. And if the goals come against you, so be it.
Yeah, Mackenzie covers that one up. I mean, I think it's more a case now of the Beacons are playing their own game, aren't they? They're taking the game to the Queen Bees, and they're getting some rewards, and this is much better. And again, a shooting opportunity from Ruby Newlands. They come into this game, I think, with a game plan and trying to restrict the Queen Bees playing. That didn't work because the Queen Bees are too good for it, but now we're seeing now they're playing Beacons hockey, it's better, but we're going to get a power play for the Queen Bees.
An unfortunate tripping call there. I think it was just when Louise was just having a bit of a change of direction there, and they were just a stick in the way, but as the rules go, you've got to be in control of your stick at all times.
Caitlin Stockton is shaking her head against, I think it's Holly Neenan, who's the lead referee, and those two are actually teammates for the Sheffield Shadows, so she was shaking her head at her. I think she was questioning as to why her teammate.
There'll be no offers for a drink in the bar later. Definitely not.
Well, I wouldn't want to be at the Shadows team awards night this year between those two. But we'll see. As Louise Adams will.
There'll be no baby Guinnesses shared, put it that way.
No, I don't think so. Gives the return pass to Abby Sylvester. Back to Louise Adams. All joking aside, though, Holly Neenan, one of the top referees, not just in this country but at international level. Great to see that she is playing again this season. Really, I was staying in my hotel. I had a good chat with her last night. She's always good to talk to.
It's always nice when a referee plays.
Yes,
if you just get a referee that referees, they don't understand sometimes.
That's right.
And when you've got a referee that plays, it helps the game so much because, I've jumped in and I've refereed sometimes, and when you see certain battles and you see little bits here and there, as a player, you know when it's bad and when it's not. And it just makes the game so much more comfortable knowing that a player, as a referee, is reffing.
But like you say, they understand it from a player's point of view, which always
helps. Break here from Casey Trail. Casey's still going in.
Yeah, she just got forced wide. I think it was Estelle Hipp who did a fantastic job there.
Yeah.
Of just hooking her stick back with her own stick and tying her up, and that just impeded Casey enough
to be able to get a good shot.
We'll see a replay of it here. I mean, it's a fantastic breakout from her.
Yeah,
but Estelle Hipp did fantastically well to stick with her all the way. Look, see, lifts her stick.
Yeah,
and again, gets a touch on it
back. Yeah,
that was enough just to disrupt her momentum.
Yeah,
Casey,
and it just wedged under the pad there as well. It was pretty close to going in that, but again, Casey showing that she has got some jets and she can be a forward as well as a D.
But a good opportunity again. Ruby this time. Beacons using the pace on the counter. It's a good effect and went short side. Forced a good save out of Mackenzie McNamara. Gets another one and fires just wide there. But was trying to pick out that top corner, glove side. Wasn't off by much.
No.
And over to his
missiles
far side.
Go pretty close.
Indeed, yeah. Lily Endicott carries in then for the Queen Bees.
Just seen a fly.
Yeah, it's been here all game. It's annoying.
How the flies get in here? They've got so much space to fly in. Yeah. I understand if it's in your kitchen, They ain't got a lot of space to go around.
Must be all that hot air that we're talking. That's what attracts it. A lovely breakout into the zone, and Ruby Newland's trying to send the puck in towards Emma Lamberton, but well defended by Ellie Shaw, who disrupted that passing lane.
Speaking of the weirdest things we've seen in an ice rink, there once a pigeon in Blackburn.
There's been a pigeon at Whitley Bay a few
there?
times. Yeah, there has, yeah.
Yeah, there was a pigeon, and it actually sat on top of the glass at Blackburn, and the referee cancelled the game.
Really?
Well,
Cancelled the game?
he didn't cancel the game. He postponed the game until the pigeon was moved. In fear of the pigeon's safety.
Here's that breakout once again then.
Yeah, defender, good job there. Good job by the defender pushing her wide.
Sure it was.
But a good pick up behind the back of the net, and there's a good pass there to be made, but she decides to take the shot, and it just rolls up above the keeper.
Yeah, Ellie Shaw, one of the top young defenders in the league, and you can see why. I mean, this is amazing. This is her first full season of playing elite hockey. She'd only been playing for Swindon in Division 1 prior to this. She'd had a one-off guest appearance for Guildford last season. So it's kind of surprising it's taken her that long to make her elite debut, but when you see her like that, making plays like that, you think, wow.
Does not look out of place at all.
No, not at all,
you'd think she'd be playing this league for years.
You would indeed,
how she plays.
Big fan of Ellie's. I think she's, a very level-headed person as well. Great defender. I mean, this is what's so exciting about this Queen Bee's defence as well. I mean, Abby Sylvester, amazingly, is the second oldest member of that defence, and she's only about 24 herself. So,
oh wow,
yeah. I mean, Hannah Byron, I think, is only 30. So, and she's classed as the oldest defender right now.
Making me feel old, Aaron.
Sorry,
You're
buddy.
Not doing a good job.
Louise Adams shot from the distance. Oh, then it's still it. Puts home the rebound. That is
good goal.
That was a filthy goal, and I mean that as all like complimentary, because she almost stabbed home and tipped it home, collected her own rebound off the post and put home. Sam, not much you can do about that, but well taken there by Estelle.
Louise just kind of waits, throws it on net, then takes a couple of redirects, and
well taken.
Estelle there just getting the tip on it in front, Sam getting a touch on it, and then she's at full, she's fully spread, she can't do anything, and then just takes the advantage and just backhands it up and over.
Yeah, that's right.
Good goal.
But
this is what we said, they can't be affording to get goals against them. They need to start going forward and trying to contribute themselves. But against a team like this, like you said, it's difficult.
Well, it is. I mean, having got that goal, Whitley had a good passage of play, but then I think we saw that power play for the Queen Bees, and it sort of stemmed that momentum again a little bit. It's all Queen Bees now. That's a good shot from Lily Endicott from the high slot, and again forcing Sam into the high glove save. Yeah,
as far as it goes for momentum killers, I put my money on Queen Bees at the moment. Beacons thought, right, we're in a chance where we can do this, we're going. And as soon as they get a little bit of momentum, Queen Bees are just like, nope, we're stinging you. There you go.
Literally, yeah. I mean, I think if Whitley had got a second goal back when they were in the ascendancy 4-2,
definitely,
it then makes it an interesting game, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Similar thing we saw really with Guildford and Solihull in the last game, in a very similar situation where I think if it was 4-2 going into that third period, Guildford have got a lot more playing for. Instead, it's 4-1, and then Solihull ran out comfortable winners in the end. And I just hope we see, from a neutral's point of view, we see a positive response from Whitley going into that final session. But this is a very good, talented Queen Bee side, and they look like they mean business.
That's offside there. That were offside.
Bad change as well.
The bad change that were offside. There was a foot still on the ice, and she received the puck. That should have been a too many man call there. That's why I said it can catch you out, but the official says no, so we've got to go by their rules there.
Coolshaw carrying in at the other end though. Beacon's played to a whistle and advanced nicely. Now it is Ellie Wallace, gets in behind Vicky Smith, gets a shot off, but again I think Sam Bowler got a piece of it, just enough, maybe got a bit off a stick there.
Bit off a stick or a shoulder there, and just sent it wide and over, and then she just gets a cover to give the girls a break.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think that there was a too many man call. There was a foot still on the ice, and as long as there's a foot on the ice and you gain control, it's too many men.
Indeed, yeah. Well, I mean, that was a good effort by the Queen Bees. I was about to say before, they may have surrendered their league crown to the Vixens this year, but they want to end the season with a trophy. and if they get to a final tomorrow, well, they'll
if
have
they
a chance to do that, won't they?
Yeah, if they keep playing like this and how they're playing, yeah, I can't see why not. They can't take it to Solihull.
Yeah, I mean, they are missing players, which is perhaps why I think Queen Bees are perhaps not as favourites for this one as they have been in recent years. But today's performance, I think, shows that they're here to compete. And
yeah, certainly. Yeah, they are here. They're here to compete, and they're going to do well.
Oh, we go. Williams onto a backhand, and Mackenzie McNamara able to get the pads across, but unfortunately, I think for Amanda, it did come to our backhand.
Yeah.
If she'd have been on her forehand, it might have been a better scoring opportunity for her, and she was forced wide as well. But she got herself into a good position, and the Beacons showing that it's not all over.
No. We're showing good heart, and they're going to keep fighting till the end.
Yeah. Amelia Williams gets a shot off. Rising effort that Sam helped on its way off her upper body.
A bit of a slash there, but no call.
Yep, and then Becky Castlewood going
Well
for a ring wide pass.
there.
Oh, it was good hands, wasn't it, by Lydia
Yeah,
Endicott.
good hand-eye coordination there to keep that puck in.
Caitlin Morrison, who's open on this left wing side, and helps it into the offensive zone.
Again, another midfielder. She's been putting up the points this year in the goal scoring department, hasn't she?
She has. I mean, she's been playing as a forward for Caledonia in Division 1, so she can play both roles equally well. So Beacons have always opted to use her as a defender. Second season with the club. Comes from Belfast. Her father, Mark Morrison, no, not the rapper, who's from Leicester. He played for the return of the Mac, in case people were wondering who that is. No, the Mark Morrison who played for the Belfast Giants was one of the first homegrown Belfast Giants players, and created a very good career for himself.
The BMI baby, wasn't it?
It
back
was
back in the day.
Back in the day, the Elite League. Yeah.
BMI baby. Remember the terrible airline.
Yeah. That's probably why they don't exist anymore. Over on the far side, it's cleared. Not quite out the zone. 22 seconds left in the period, but yeah, Caitlin is Mark's daughter, so a lot of hockey heritage there. Morrison again on the puck. Cuts through the neutral zone ice into the offensive zone now onto our backhand.
Good carry.
It is. She was trying to go all the way coast to coast there, but good defending from Abby Sylvester, who stuck with her throughout. And that will do it then for the second period. It's a 5-1 Queen Bees lead. I believe we're going to get an ice cut now. But thoughts on that period, Connor?
It was a period of a thirds, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I feel like Queen Bees came out firing in the first third of it, and then the goal from Whitley, you saw that section where they were pushing, they were trying to do what they wanted to do, they were playing their game, and then as soon as the goal came from Louise Adams, it kind of killed Whitley's momentum, and then a goal from it, and then it's just kind of gone a bit more lenient towards the Queen Bees than the Beacons, but hopefully this break may do them well. I don't know if the Queen Bees have tired themselves out by being too aggressive and too fast, but you know, they are a good team, and they are, as much as they don't have to skate, they can use the puck and make the puck do the work as well.
Sure.
It's one of those, it could go anywhere. I mean, a 5-1 deficit is a big mountain to climb. Not saying that it's not climbable.
Sure.
You know, bigger ones have been done before.
Indeed.
Even in the Stanley Cup at the moment. I mean, if you look at Edmonton and Dallas, 3-1 down going into the third, and they ended up winning 6-3. 5 unanswered goals from the Dallas, and that's against potentially one of the best teams in the NHL at the moment, one of the favourites to win the cup. So
anything can happen.
Anything can happen. It's live sport. Anything can happen.
So please do stick with us then. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with you in around about 14 minutes' time. So please don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Sheffield then, as we have this third and final period between the Whitley Bay Beacons and the Queen Bees. And very quickly we are back underway then with the puck drop. Caitlin Morrison controls following the ice cut. Nicely cleared by Rachel Cartwright, who runs into Casey Trell, a pair of them just laughing about it.
Yeah, she picked the puck up with her hand and threw it into the zone.
Yeah, that's a hand pass, isn't it?
Well, it's a frisbee.
Yeah.
And none of the officials saw it. It was a race.
Yeah. A pair of them obviously good friends through GB. They are teammates, of course. So
as long as my mic is not crackling, guys, we're not crackling. Are we good?
yeah,
good.
I believe so.
Apologies for the last period. I sneezed. I took my headphones off, and the mic crackled since.
Can hear a Let's Go Queen Bees. So and then Let's Go Beacons. So I think it's kind of we're in stereo now. One side of the rink shouting for Queen Bees,
they are.
For Beacons, which is great, which is what we want. This is the first time we've really got the crowd into it, I think.
Yeah, we love a bit of rivalry. Oh, good thought bounce there. Oh God, fumble there, as if you would say in American football.
Yeah, it was, but good effort though by the Beacons as they applying the pressure early on in this period, trying to get a goal back. Carried in by Leah Flar, who continues to have a very strong game throughout today. First time I think I've seen her play all season. I think for whatever reason she's missed the games against the Beacons, or I've missed one down in Slough. Becky Castor-Woods brought down there, but good to see she's got straight back up.
No, just a little bit of a collision with Louise there when they were in the centre trying to get the puck off her.
Becky's work rate's phenomenal though.
And she's got a good engine, hasn't she?
Oh, hasn't she just?
Yeah.
For me, one of the fittest, if not the fittest player in the league.
And potentially, no disrespect, she's probably one of the older players on the team, and she keeps going.
Yeah.
She's got a really good engine.
She's older than me, so she'll be pushing 44, but plays like she's 24, doesn't she? It's just so much energy, which is great to see.
Good block shot there.
Carried out by Danielle Turnbull, another one of the real hard workers on the team.
Yeah, Louise getting into a dangerous spot there, right in the centre on her own, with not a lot of stick or a little bit of pressure behind her, and that's the last person you want with a puck in there.
Well, indeed, yeah. It was Ellie Wallace will control nicely, dumps it in. She'll complete the line change for the Queen Bees. As that fly is continuing to attack both commentators and cameraman.
Honestly, to God.
It's controlled.
It's persistent. That fly is persistent.
It is, yes. Persistent pest. Yes. It's cleared, carried out of the zone by Ruby Newlands. Gets the shot off. It's looped in. What a goal by Ruby Rocket. And that's brought the Beacons right back into it. A massive slice of luck, but perhaps the luck that the Beacons needed.
They did need that, definitely.
But Ruby, I think the saying is you don't buy a ticket, you won't win a raffle. Though she took the shot, it took a deflection off a defender, and it's looped in, and we'll get the replay here.
I enjoyed that. Yeah, it was just a bit of a pizza there from Louise Adams, which is really rare.
Yeah.
And then
it was a 2-on-1 there.
Yeah, Ruby just takes it, and it's a deflection off the defender.
Yeah.
Took the deflection off the elbow of the defender, which then sent the keeper into a drop stance, which then looped over the top and almost, as if you would in football, lobbed the keeper.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, once it hits that stuff at the back,
that's it. That's
goal's a goal. Doesn't matter.
But don't ask you how, they only ask you how many.
Yeah. Exactly that.
I mean, it was a low-driven effort, which Rachel Cartwright flashes wide there. And then the follow-up by cleared by Heidi Dunn. But yeah, it was a low drive, and it just looped off the numbers of the back of the shirt.
Good save there by Sam on the shoulder.
Yeah, an awkward one as it hit her high up, didn't it?
Yeah, hit high up, and she just covered it well with her shoulder and the blocker. But yeah, good individual effort there. This is what you need. You need to give them. You need to give the Queen Bees pressure. They get pressure. They're only human. They're gonna crumble, and you need to give them pressure. The turnovers will happen, and the chances will come.
Yeah, they will, and we've seen that's a good momentum builder for the Beacons as they look to try and get themselves back into a position of.
That's well defended there. You know, they were very well defended there. They closed Louise down. They just almost just flood barricades and just shut the door straight away on her. And that's what they need to be doing. They need to be closing her down. They're giving her far too much time and respect.
Yeah. Evie Tyndale, nice stick handling from her.
Colshaw there, get to the back door. Look it.
And that one's going to be covered up by Mackenzie McNamara, but good hands again by Abby Colshaw to work that scoring opportunity. Beacons with an offensive zone face-off and building that momentum once again, Connor.
Yeah, you could see what Colshaw were trying to do there. You could see the She wanted to get the pass across the crease to Steph that was stood at the back door, but you know there was a bit of real estate in the way, and it just didn't quite make it.
Yeah. Carried out the corner by Amelia Williams, but Steph Towns forced the turnover nearly, but puck falls nicely again to the Queen Bees, and Rachel Cartwright who releases Leah Flahr.
It's a good back check from Turnbull there.
It was indeed, yeah. Queen Bees very quick transition game, sees them into the offensive zone, sends it around the boards. Vicky Smith will go into the corner and gets there just about ahead, but good work rate from the Queen Bees to try and win the puck back, and indeed they will. Beacons can't clear the zone. Coulshaw's clearance was blocked, and then Vicky Smith finds Evie Tyndale, who releases Steph Towns. Already got one goal today, looking for a second. Good defending there, though, by the Queen Bees and Ellie Shaw.
Yeah, they're so good with
Williams,
the sticks.
sorry.
They're so good with the sticks, you know, and position them correctly in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
And closing Whitley down.
Oh, it's almost a forced turnover there again by Rachel Cartwright, and she heads back to the bench. Looks like she was favouring her ankle a little bit there. She went off. I don't know if it was... yeah, she sat down. I don't know if that was just... she took a knock maybe, but hopefully nothing too serious.
It may have been a shot or a deflection that's hit the side of the boot, because there's some areas in the boot where you're quite happy to take shots, but you know what, it never hits there.
Yeah.
It always hits the point that you don't want it to hit, and believe me, it hurts.
Yeah. That one's dumped in. Louise Adams, quick look over her shoulder.
Yeah, good pressure there.
Caitlin Morrison, putting her under pressure. And Louise had to be very careful. She knew that she was going to get clattered there, which she did.
Nice pass, nice cross-ice pass to Wallace there.
Yeah, lovely stick reach there, wasn't it? Just to get it beyond the defender, Heidi Dunn.
Nice play,
lovely
good goal
by Lily Endicott.
Yeah, good play, good goal. Well worked.
And it's back to a 4-goal margin then. 6-2 Queen Bees. Lovely finish by Lily Endicott, which I believe is her second of the game.
Yeah, she carries it wide in there, and then straight, look, heads up, see what's going on. Centre ice. Sam screened, can't see what's going on.
A lot of credit there. It should go to Ellie Wallace, who really, that stick reach was what gathered the puck in.
Yeah, that was
got in behind.
That was the play. That was the key.
I think Lily still had a lot of work to do, man, from where she had to finish from through traffic. But
she positioned it well, and like I say, heads up to Wallace there for not being a greedy player and getting the puck in the zone.
Yeah,
getting the heads up straight away. You know, looking for the outlet pass, looking for the play to be made.
Definitely.
Once you see a white shirt, get the play there. Get it made, and inevitably it ended up in a goal for the Queen Bees.
Yeah, that one loops just over the goal frame. Ruby
Newlands with some sort of baseball move there.
It was a bit lovely.
Lovely little
Gets
goal.
A shot off, rising effort. And again, it was always going to be rising, but I mean that drag back was
it was
filthy, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Again, in a good way.
Yeah, it were. If there was a point where you needed to pull your pants up when they've been pulled down, that was it.
That was the one, yeah. Ruby Newlands enters the zone. That's going to be offside, though. I think it was the play on the far side. I think it was Emma Lamberton over there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just on the opposite side of the
blue.
blue.
We've got a replay of this coming up now.
Yeah. So Ruby's just playing a bit of baseball there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just coming in
here,
with pressure too, with a stick on her, and lovely drag back, and it's just over the top of the net.
And Ellie Shaw was put under a lot of pressure there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why it was quite an impressive move to pull off. You know, when you've got a stick round you and you've got pressure. Oh, there we go.
Rachel Cartwright
that.
Gets a shot off into the logo. Sam did well.
Sam almost playing a game of Twister there.
Yes, she was. Yeah, contorting her limbs, wasn't she, to get back up.
Some people say keepers are contortionists as well as puck stoppers.
Indeed, yeah. As Casey Trowell works it back to Steph Towns, who...
Oh, bad turnover there. That was literally just on the blue, but
Estelle,
I think they gave it away because they thought it might have been offside.
I think it was. I think Leah Flahr was still in the zone, wasn't she?
Yeah, I think she were.
And I think that's why Estelle left it.
Smart play there, leaving that.
Well, it was, yeah. Nice passing, though, from Steph Towns to find Tyndale. Back to Towns. Just went short side, forces a save out of Mackenzie McNamara, and we'll get a Beacons face-off in the offensive zone.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see it again here.
Yeah.
Casey Trail put under pressure, 2 against 1 there. Rachel Cartwright forcing a turnover, creates a scoring opportunity herself. Went high, but Sam did well to make sure she got her body on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Shaw drags her shot wide, straight from the face-off draw. That was just before the pitches returned to you back home, but straight from the draw, it was a decent half chance for her, just dragged wide. But now the Queen Bees will
Nice
counter.
Louise Adams.
Yeah, she was strong there. She rode 2 or 3
good
challenges.
Play. Oh, bit of a kerfuffle there.
Yeah,
But the puck stopped. I think to the previous play, before the replay, when Steph took the shot short side, they need to be kind of shooting on the pads, for a redirect, because obviously there's no direct pass to the centre, and you've got a man there ready for a shot. You need to be getting it off if you're coming down on the right side, you need to be getting it on the goalkeeper's right pad for a deflection outwards, and to get the rebound there, because they're easy goals to score, because you've got a lot of net to shoot on, but you just need to get the shot in the right place.
Yeah, indeed. Controlled by Lily Endicott, who sends it around the boards. It will be chased down though by Jade Cito. Beacons having to defend well deep into their zone here.
Yeah, it seems like the Queen Bees are going on. They're still, we're on a 4-goal deficit here. The Queen Bees are still doing their aggressive forecheck that they started the game with.
Yeah.
They've not changed the game plan. I think they want to make a statement.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to kind of build ahead of steam ahead of tomorrow as well, haven't you?
Of course you have,
Put a marker down ahead of facing Vixens. They've got to raise the game, because they know playing against the Vixens, whatever we've seen during the regular season, playoff finals, Solihull Queen Bees, you can times that by 10. The pace of the game will be that much quicker as well, the intensity that much quicker, and they really have to start playing that intensity level today to be ready for tomorrow. And we saw the same with the Vixens against Guildford. They
didn't let off.
No,
there's just no mercy with teams like that.
Yeah,
good save
there by Amelia Williams, who drilled it low. Good save by Sam again.
Good play from Louise there, chucking it up into the high slot there.
Yeah.
And again, the Queen Bees are all over them in their own zone. These 50-50 battles, they're not letting them have an inch to breathe. They're just straight on them, giving them the pressure, giving them it.
Yeah, and that was Yuk Ting Lau, who sends a puck back across the other way, cleared by Jade Cito. Won't come out the zone though, as Amelia Williams jumps on that loose puck, and then a poke check from Becky Castner-Wood will clear the zone, and the Queen Bees will have to retreat as Williams regains possession, finds Yuk Ting Lau on this left wing. A drop pass to Williams, but goes astray. Tries to be poked back in by Ellie Shaw. It was on the blue line, so it would have counted as staying in. Hadn't crossed the blue line. But a good breakout there, really, by Danielle Turnbull and Becky Castner-Wood. Beacons in the offensive zone. That one's taken into the feet by Ellie Shaw and almost gets a second go at it, but she'll leave it for Amelia Williams this time, while Amanda McWilliams for the Beacons doing some good work on the forecheck, as Emma Lamberton looking to carry in right now. Drags it back onto her forehand. Force wide, and behind the back of the net, still with her though, doing well to hold on, put under a bit of pressure there from Rachel Cartwright.
Yeah, there's a call on the play there now. I think Lamberton got a hooking call of some kind there. Yeah, I think it was. She pulled the stick out from under her armpit there.
Rachel with a wry smile, I think she headed back to the
I think kind of knew about that. I think, at Sheffield, I always enjoy getting a penalty at Sheffield because they do sweets in the penalty box.
That's right,
so she may have just wanted a sweet break.
There's a massive tub of Haribo's or something, isn't there?
Oh,
like
it's
a big blue tub.
Oh, fantastic, honestly. If I hadn't got a penalty, I needed a quick energy boost, get a quick 2, get a breather, get some Haribo down here, back out.
Jobs are good. As that one comes back off the boards then.
Let's just hope the
gather.
Beacon's power play is a bit more productive than the last one.
It would be nice for them to get another goal or two back, wouldn't it, before the game's over? I think we realise Queen Bees have probably won the game, but it'd just be nice for Queen Bees to come away with some happy memories from the game, and that what is their first ever appearance in the elite playoffs. And I'm sure hopefully there'll be other opportunities in years to come, but it was always going to be difficult against one of the most experienced playoff teams in the Queen Bees. And I think whoever you face in the semi-finals, Whitley and Guildford, were always going to be up against it. With Solihull and Queen Bees, it's a little bit like pick your poison, isn't it? Who would you rather face?
Precisely,
it's always going to be tough.
You've got two teams there that both play completely different to one another.
Yeah.
And but both equally as productive and dangerous as what they do. So it's which team you'd rather play against. Like
It
you
is.
say.
Yeah.
So it's one of those. But
Covered up there by Mackenzie McNamara. But yeah, like speaking to the Solihull girls after their game, and I was saying, who would you rather face in the final? Like they said, you know what, whoever we face is going to be tough. So they were fearing the Beacons just as much as the Queen Bees, because the Beacons have done something the Queen Bees haven't done this year, and that is beat Solihull.
yes.
So Solihull were wary of that, and I think they've given the Beacons a lot of respect for that as well, which is good to see. And I think the Beacons have earned that over the course of this season. Yeah, today hasn't gone the way they would like, and sadly they've come up against a team where they've got statistically the worst record against in the Elite League, where they've never so much as taken a point off them before. But
this is the bit of football there from Ruben.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It must be quite frustrating for the Beacons too, obviously, and a bit daunting to come against a team that they've not beaten in the regular season, because obviously if you're coming against Solihull, they've given Solihull some games.
Well, they've beaten them at least once in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So they know mentally they can go into that game thinking we can do it.
Yeah.
Queen Bees have had some close games where at the last minute Queen Bees always find a way to win.
Yeah.
And that's in your mind, isn't
and
it?
there was that game at home, I think it was this season.
Yeah.
And
the Endicott with 25 seconds to go.
25 seconds to go, and it ended up, was it 5-4, I think it ended up?
Something like that, yeah. It was a one-goal game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a one-goal game, and it's like, it just seems like when you're going into a playoff game against your bogey team, these are the bogey team for Whitley, because they've never beaten them. So you always have that little thing in the back of your mind, and it's just it'll probably grate away at you, because if they face Solihull, it's like we've beaten them before, we can do it again.
And obviously, in a one-off game, you just don't know, do you? But
no, like I say, it's live sport. You never know.
Yeah. But the Beacons have responded well. Once going down by 4 goals, they have battled, and
they'll keep going till the end.
Tied at 2-2, which is good to see. And that one comes in, come off the shoulder, a right shoulder there of Mackenzie McNamara, who I think time and time again has come up with some big saves here.
That's a tripping call.
Really a tripping call, yeah.
Right, so we're going to get a bit of 5-on-3
back on
now.
The power play then.
Yeah.
Oh, that one had just ended, so it will be 5-on-4.
It just ended.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
Literally, she had just come back on about 10 seconds before, so...
Well, another 2 minutes, some Haribo for you. You enjoy.
Leah Flower it is who will go on there, but she's on the same line as Rachel Cartwright, so they're missing somebody off that top line once again. But I was going to say they might even use Rachel on the penalty kill. Louise Adams and Lily Endicott's out there. Lily takes a draw, backs off the board from Hannah Byram, and it's gathered by Casey Trail.
Oh, just
Abby Coolshaw into the corner. Lily Endicott pushing out. Steph Towns having to work hard to get back there, which she's done. She knows she's in a game when she's got Lily Endicott snapping away at her heels. Evie Tyndale towards Abby Coolshaw, who's worked tirelessly down that left wing side. She's put in a real big performance for the Beacons today, a real captain's performance. It's not all come off for her, but you can't fault her effort, can you?
No, you certainly can't. It's not all sometimes about the points and scoring goals and playmaking and stuff. It's about the hard little nitty-gritty horrible plays that you need to make as a captain. She realises that, and it takes a good player to recognise where your point is in at the game and what you've got to do to make the game work for the team as well. And if you need to do the horrible nitty-gritty stuff and work the corners, work the boards, then so be it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Casey Trell will carry in then with just under 6 minutes remaining in the game. Oh, nice setup to the back post for Coolshaw, but well marshalled there by Abby Sylvester. Her clearance is blocked well by
she's had a good
Caitlin
defensive
Morrison.
game today.
And now Louise Adams on a breakaway. And she make it a third short-handed goal.
Good pressure from Steph Towns there. That was brilliant back checking there.
Yeah, great play by Townsy.
You'd put your pocket money on there if Louise been able to bag that one there.
Well, she's already got a hat-trick, but that would have been a hat-trick of short-handed goals for Louise if she'd netted there. But great. It just shows you 6-2 game, 5 minutes 20 to go or whatever it was, and Steph Towns is still, straining every sinew to get back and make a play like that. And it paid off for her.
Ruby Rockets on for a bit of a go here.
Yeah. Force wide though, good defending by the Queen Bees, and Ellie Shaw again, who I think it was anyway. No, it wasn't actually. It was Miley Drazy who made the play. But a very quick penalty kill then, that one.
It's just weird how much short that seemed to the longest penalty in the world in the second period.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
A lot shorter, yeah.
Time relativity and all that. As collected at centre red, Queen Bees will dump back in. And not long left in the game then. Sambar was going to cover this one up with the Queen Bees bearing down. And we'll get a face-off inside the Beacon zone.
We've got a replay of that now, so yeah, there you go. Steph's having to put the afterburners on there to catch Louise, and she just gives her a little bit of a chop there that just disturbs her, and then Louise just can't quite get onto the puck.
Yeah.
And that's ideally what you want to be doing, closing down a player of her calibre.
So Daisy Duval will come on for her playoff debut for the Queen Bees. Made her senior debut earlier in the season, but both the Fire Bees and the Queen Bees, playing in Div 1 and Elite. One of the Ice Bees players, the under-16s team, so good to see her getting an opportunity here. Nice hands again by the Queen Bees. A shot from Lau is deflected away. It was Isabel Bennett, I think, who would driven directly to goal. Duval will send one in. Nonchalantly taken there by Sam. You've got to be confident to do something like that.
You've got to be confident that your right hand and your left hand are talking to each other there, aren't you?
Yeah, for a second my heart was in my mouth. I think yours was as well, wasn't it?
No, don't do it. But she'll no, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to make this look good.
And she did. That was a save for the cameras if ever was one, wasn't it? I don't think I'd want to see that in a one-goal game, put it that way, as a follow-up shot is blocked. She'll cover that one up. The whistle goes by Holly Neenan, the referee for this game.
I do like the officials' tops as
it's
well.
Nice, isn't it?
They are. I do like the dash of red on them.
Yeah, it's like
it's my inner fashion designer.
It's like a pinky magenta colour which fades into the black. I think it's quite nice.
Yeah,
it's very unique.
Good skate there from Becky Wood.
We can thank League President Faye Andrews for that, who's also a senior referee and does well to invite these officials to the tournament every year, and she had a massive hand in the design of that, so always unique. They're different every year, which is nice.
Yeah, I do like the jerseys. They are nice.
Yeah,
it's a bit weird. It's just better than the standard issue black and white.
It is. Nice finish by Ellie Wallace, who goes top shelf where Mama keeps the best peanut butter, and she makes it 7-2.
Yeah. Good goal.
Puts the exclamation point on the win.
Certainly does.
For the Swindon-born sniper.
Get the replay
of it here.
Yeah, nice pass through there and takes one. And then, just carries it wide, uses the body to be able to shield the puck, and then draws Sam to the other side and picks it short side. Hard shot to take, to get in that position, and well executed.
I think when Ellie's on form like that, she's possibly the most unplayable player in the league to play against, if that makes sense. In terms of stopping her.
Yeah, I've whenever I've seen her play, she's always put up a good performance, and it's not only a goal scoring capability or her way she plays the game. She's very tenacious how she plays. She's very good at making plays, but as well as scoring them. And Casey Trail's stick is ripped out of her hand there, and no call on the play.
Yeah, it's just over 2 minutes remaining. Not long to go, then Queen Bees will be heading into the final with the Solihull Vixens for the third straight season.
Don't call out, Adam, there's 2 minutes and 5 left.
Yeah, Beacons could score 5 and force overtime. That would be that would be a game I'd love to see.
I know.
But I think even the Beacons' best efforts, I think, is going to be tough against this Queen Bees side.
Yeah, it certainly is.
But I think it's a massive achievement in itself getting here and get into the semi-finals. It's the first time teams with a lot more experience in these games, and the Beacons have come up a lot shorter than what they've done here. They've given a good account of themselves. Once it got to 4-0, you did fear for them, but they've battled hard, and it's been
They have certainly,
close game since then. And I mean, you know, if you take them 4 goals out of it and just started the game from that point, it would be a 1-goal game right now. So you know, that's the way you have to look at it. And it's the way the Beacons have reacted has been positive.
It has, yeah. And you've kind of just got to look at the positives from a game like this when you're the Beacons. You know, you've made it here. It's your first season within this league.
Indeed, yeah.
You've done it. You've made it here. You
now
know,
let's go back and do it again next year. And make it a regular thing, and then you close the gap, don't you?
Yeah, of course you do. You close the gap, and you gain more experience, and you gain more time, and you get more experience in this, because obviously this isn't the Queens Bees' first rodeo, you know.
Yeah, this is it.
It is for Whitley Bay, so the pressure's going to get to you, and we've got an odd man rush on the go here now.
Yeah, 2 against 1 here. Steph Towns. She was trying to pick out Evie Tinder, but good defending there from Hannah Byram, who cut off that passing lane perfectly. Steph Towns, lovely layoff to find Abby Coulter on the backhand. Coulter trying to squeeze in behind, but it was Louise Adams who just swatted her aside, much like we'd like to swat that fly. But Louise is brought down, so the Beacon's going to end the game on the penalty kill with 13 seconds to go.
Yeah, that were a last-ditch attempt to stop a player that's faster than you.
Yeah.
If your feet can't make it in your body, you use your stick.
Vicky Smith heads to the box.
Yeah, happens to the best of us, Vicky, don't worry.
Yeah, well, this is it.
Enjoy the Haribo.
Yeah, I hope we do have Haribo in there after all this talking.
Yeah, I know. To be fair, I can't see it. Oh,
Ian Trail is the Beacon's designated official in the penalty box. Every team has to send one from the team, and that one's going to do it then as Louise Adams fires wide. It's going to end in a 7-2 win to the Queen Bees. Very well done, and congratulations to them. We will see them again tomorrow when they take on the Solihull Vixens for the playoff final, part 3. Both teams then going back for their huddles, and then there'll be the handshakes. Connor, thoughts on the game first of all?
The game was very good to watch. You know, the Beacons are clearly proud of being here for the first season that they've been in the Elite League, and they're very proud of what they've done and where they've achieved and where they've come from this season.
Yeah.
The Queen Bees, obviously, they've been here before. Some may say that the veterans have been here.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you're facing a team like this in here, they've come out with the hearts of the Beacons, and they've showed what they're worth. And, you know, there's no shame. There's no shame in losing to a better side. And at the end of the day, the Queen Bees deserve this. You know, they've played well. They've showed no mercy. And they've given it everything that they've got. And I wish them the best of luck in the final against Solihull tomorrow. But, you know, commiserations to the Beacons. You know, they've given it everything that they could. You know, they fought to the end. You know, they didn't give up.
Yeah.
It's very easy to give up when you're down by that many goals, and they didn't give up. They just give it everything that they could. But all around a very good game. Some lovely plays been made. Some really, really, really well worked goals. Some good individual efforts. Some good team efforts on both sides. So you know, it's been nice to see across the board. You know, individual efforts. You know, the individual goals are lovely to see, and you love to see teamwork goals. Some good defending on both sides. But you know, all in all, it's not gone the Beacons' way today. So it's a tough pill to swallow, but
it is.
You go away and work again, don't you?
You do indeed. There's that point in the game where I asked player of the game who stood out for you on both sides. I mean, I'm guessing Louise Adams is a pretty easy shout for Queen Bee.
Yeah, easy shout and be able to go for that. But there's been some other good standout performances for myself. You know. Louise Adams, there's been Wallace. I think Abby Sylvester's been absolutely fantastic indeed for them today. She's been absolutely solid at the back for them. And the other defenseman that plays on the same line as her, you're going to have to remind me of it.
As who, sorry?
The other defencer that plays on the same line as
Abby.
There's Abby Sylvester and the other one.
Marty Drazy, 79. Ellie
Shaw,
Amelia Williams, Hannah Byram.
Hannah Byram. Yeah, she's had a fantastic defensive game as well. I can't remember her last name, sorry.
Yeah.
If you watch this back, I'm sorry, I can't remember your name. No, she had a fantastic defensive game as well.
Yeah.
So they're the four for me there. Obviously, Keeper had a good game as well, but for the Beacons, I think Sam had a good game. She got tested. I think Coleshaw ground throughout all the gears. And I think there's several other good performances there as well. I think Casey Trail had a good game.
It's gone to Danielle Turnbull, and I think, her work rate in every game, that's very well deserved.
I was just going to say her name. Yeah, I was just going to say Turnbull and Lamberton as well for the work rate. And Becky Casperwood, we don't forget Becky. Becky had a fantastic work rate in that game.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done to Danielle, though. That's a big moment for her, coming away with player of the game in an elite semi-final. Playoff semi-final. Louise Adams, I don't think anyone can really argue with that.
No, you
after
can't
the performance she's put in against her old team. It hurts, doesn't it, when an old player comes back to haunt you like that? But what a talent Louise Adams is, and it's a pleasure to watch her whenever she's on the ice.
Yeah, fantastic game from her. That's probably the best I've seen her play.
Yeah,
in all honesty, in the 4 games that I've seen her play, that's probably the best I've seen her play.
She's brought her A game today.
Yeah, she really has. She's had a Weetabix this morning.
That's saying something, because Louise Adams is fantastic, and to find a level above that,
that's when the good players separate the really good players.
Yes,
it is. You can find that, like I said to you earlier in the game, you've got that extra gear. And she's shown that today. She's given that extra gear.
Yeah,
and she's a star that's shone.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Well, congratulations once again to the Queen Bees, and commiserations to the Beacons. And for anyone listening in for Beacons TV, well, they'll be back on air next season. But for now, thank you and good evening. We'll be back in about 20 minutes' time for the first Division 2 semi-final, which will see the Cambridge Kodiaks take on the Telford Wrekin Raiders.